Hi. This time it's a short video clip and hopefully timely. A year ago, this channel was pointing out many stocks as fodder for your sleuthing, that is, as potential buys. Many of those have since doubled and quite a few tripled. Take a look. Now, over the last few months, the tone of the channel has changed. More and more, it has been pointing out stocks worth sleuthing, but for the opposite reason. Because the upside potential is probably limited if the stock history was considered. I cautioned you against making heroic assumptions, which is basically that everything must come up roses and peaches for the stock to keep rising from where it is now. One such stock was VEDL, Vedanta, the Indian resource company, which more than doubled since it was mentioned here. At its then current price, I gave it as an example of how not to make heroic assumptions. Since then, Vedanta rose a bit more, which to my way of thinking means that holding it here is making even more heroic assumptions. So sure, it may rise further, but the risk may not outweigh the reward here. It was not a recommendation to sell, mind, just an urge for you to sleuth it more deeply to see what conclusion you may reach. Now, why do I mention it again? Because yet another stock mentioned here more than a year ago as a fodder for sleuthing has also more than doubled. And although it may also rise further, at this point, holding it would also require heroic assumptions. The stock is ERJ, Embraer, the Brazilian aircraft company. At the time it was mentioned, the stock was at the mid-single digits. Boeing had just dropped its offer to buy a subsidiary of it, and airlines were leery of buying any mid-range jet, as well as business jet. Everybody hated it. I then pointed it as a promising sleuthing target on the buy side. Since then, the stock tripled. That is a three-bagger. What's changed? Well, a business jet's competitor, Mitsubishi, closed shop. Embraer backlog is up. The company has expanded its electric power planes ambitions, and every latecomer speculator institution has been piling into the stock in large daily volume. However, based on all past valuation ratios and some discrete checks, I think the time may have come for some sleuthing on the other side. In other words, now you should be asking, can the company's prospects justify the current price? You should come to your own conclusions, of course, but deep sleuthing here could be useful in helping you avoid making heroic assumption regarding Embraer's price from this point onwards. What about other stocks mentioned in this channel in the past as possible fodder for positive sleuthing, that is, potential buys? Many have doubled, as I said, and some have tripled. Well, I suggest you take another look at them and consider sleuthing all with some counter review in mind. Now mind, not all require heroic assumptions here to keep holding them, but some do, especially in this market. Why this market? Because it is becoming quite clear that the overall market may not be as forgiving in the future to heroic assumption as it has been in the past. In other words, many in the markets are making many heroic assumptions about the future of both the economy and the market and stocks. Like which assumptions? Like the Fed continuing to be friendly and print massive amounts of money. Or the economy going to continue to do well when a huge part of the workforce is foolishly being paid to stay home and play video game, including the market video game. Or that inflation will stay subdued. Or that China will just keep making threatening noise about Taiwan that will do nothing. You know, everything will be peachy and roses. Now, they may all be proven right, but it's also quite likely that they will be proven mostly wrong. In such an environment, making heroic assumptions about one stock price can cause you a misfortune, but making such assumptions about several could be sheer carelessness. I suggest you write down the assumptions you have been making about all the stocks that you own, then do deep sleuthing into each. How likely are they all to come up peaches? You may be surprised about what you'll find. That's all for today. Please tell me in comment below what you think of the above, especially about heroic assumptions. Subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends about it so they'll subscribe too. I'll see you next time, and meantime, thank you very much for watching.